Ron Jonathan Fishman from Lean Law. I felt the most effective way to articulate some of the report functionality that I mentioned in my email was to develop this brief video showing it to you. As you can see, I'm in the reports section of Lean Law. Much of this I showed you in our last visit, but candidly, probably didn't do a good enough job of representing it. I want to start with your most specific reports that you had asked for. First is the compensation report by responsible attorney. This is the billing for that attorney and all of the delegates associated with the matters that that attorney is deemed responsible for. I've selected the responsible button. I've picked Richard Davis, and I'm going to pick my time period last month. This shows two timekeepers that had contributed to the matters for a total of $18,900. In addition, it shows the expenses. These are the costs specific to that attorney's matters that he or she is responsible to. It shows the total billable hours, and then, of course, what was actually billed, and then what was collected. This can be printed out or exported to Excel per responsible attorney. The second report you asked for specifically was an originating attorney report. This is where, again, I don't think I did a good enough job explaining it. Deemed responsible, so again, we're going to look at, here's the two summary views. If I click into this Richard Davis, I can pick my time period responsible, and this is the total amount of billed for that particular period of time for the matters that Richard Davis was deemed originating. There is some issues with outside originators that we'd have to discuss, but for your internal originators, those users in the system, this is the report they would use, and you could play with the time period as you saw fit. Again, you can export this to Excel. Last thing, talking about compensation reports. If we go back to last month, I just want to show you a little bit more detail. So this would be last month, which would be February. You'll see $3,683. If I wanted a detailed expense report as to what those specific expenses were, I could pick Richard Davis, the user, the month. I'm going to say billed, and you'll see that that number matches, and that is the summary of all the expenses that were added to the invoices. The last report I wanted to show you is what we call the ready to bill report. This would be is a preamble to your timekeeping, or excuse me, your invoice workflow. This is showing on the left side your WIP and on the right side your accounts receivable balance. Again, I could deem who the responsible is and what the time period is. This breaks it out by specific client and matter based on what the activity was, showing you what the totals were up to a particular period of time. So those are the three reports that I had showed you. I'd welcome another opportunity to discuss this with you further, and let me know what questions you have. Talk to you soon.